Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Those rejected by people are trying to control Parliament, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate ICA Global Cooperative Conference to launch UN International Year of Cooperatives 2025. India views Italy as a key partner and a crucial ally in Europe, says External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. Uruguay's centre-left candidate Orsi wins in a razor-tight election. Alvaro Delgado's government vows a friendly transition. And in cricket, India inches closer to a historic victory in Perth. The winter session of India's Parliament began today. The lower house, or Lok Sabha, was adjourned minutes after Speaker Om Birla read out the obituary references and the House paid silent tribute to the departed souls. Opposition members also created ruckus in the Rajya Sabha, demanding a discussion on the Adani indictment issue, leading to adjournment. Now, news is just coming in that both houses of Parliament have been adjourned till the 27th of November. The third session of the 18th Lok Sabha and the 266th session of the Rajya Sabha will see the introduction of at least 16 bills. These include the Muslim Waqf Repeal Bill 2024 and the Waqf Amendment Bill, which are on the agenda. Apart from the Waqf Amendment Bill, 5 bills are listed for introduction and passing in both houses of Parliament. The 5 new bills include Merchant Shipping Bill, Coastal Shipping Bill, Indian Ports Bill, Punjab Courts Amendment Bill and Rashtriya Sahakari Vishwavidyalaya Bill. The session will last till the 20th of December and have 19 sittings. Earlier, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed media persons ahead of the session, stressing that this parliamentary session is special in many ways, with the most significant aspect being the 75th anniversary of the Constitution. He also launched a sharp critique of opposition parties, accusing them of resorting to disruptive tactics in Parliament.
सबसे ज्यादा पीड़ा की बात यह है कि जो नए सांसद होते हैं, नए विचार, नई ऊर्जा लेकर के आते हैं और ये किसी एक दल में नहीं, सभी दल में आते हैं, उनके अधिकारों को कुछ लोग दबोच देते हैं। सदन में बोलने का उनको अवसर तक नहीं मिलता है। लोकतांत्रिक परंपरा में हर पीढ़ी का काम है आने वाली पीढ़ियों को तैयार करे।
PM Modi urged opposition members to allow Parliament to function smoothly and hoped that time in Parliament can be utilized to further enhance India's global reputation and prestige.
मैं आशा करता हूं कि ये सत्र बहुत ही परिणामकारी हो, संविधान के 75वें वर्ष की शान को बढ़ाने वाला हो, भारत की वैश्विक गरिमा को बल देने वाला हो, नए सांसदों को अवसर देने वाला हो, नए विचारों का स्वागत करने वाला हो। इसी भावना के साथ मैं फिर एक बार सभी माननीय सांसदों को उमंग और उत्साह के साथ इस सत्र को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए निमंत्रित करता हूं, स्वागत करता हूं।
Prominent Indian leaders converged for Hamara Samvidhan, Hamara Samman Padyatra or Our Constitution, Our Honor March on Monday in New Delhi. The program marked a celebratory tribute to the nation's constitution. The event also witnessed the participation of Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju, Union Minister Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and BJP leader Yogeshwar Dutt. The event highlighted unity and commitment to the values enshrined in the Indian Constitution, with leaders encouraging citizens to honor and uphold their principles. Union Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia also planted saplings on the occasion. Union Ministers Gajendra Singh Shekhawat and Dharmendra Pradhan also accompanied him. Speaker of Lok Sabha or lower house of Parliament Om Birla today said that all democratic institutions in the country have been working according to the Constitution and will continue to do so. He stressed that the Constitution should be kept away from politics.
संविधान में परिवर्तनशीलता संविधान बनाने वालों ने हमेशा मूल भावना रखी और समय परिस्थितियों के अनुसार जनता की अपेक्षा आकांक्षाओं के अनुसार जनता के अधिकार और पारदर्शिता के लिए भी समाज में सामाजिक परिवर्तन के लिए भी समय समय पर संविधान में परिवर्तन हुए हैं। लेकिन किसी भी राजनीतिक दल ने, किसी भी सरकार ने संविधान की मूल भावनाओं से हस्तक्षेप नहीं किया, छेड़खानी नहीं की। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने समय समय पर देश और राष्ट्र को हमेशा कहा है कि समाज के वंचित, गरीब, पिछड़े लोगों को आज भी सामाजिक आरक्षण की आवश्यकता है और इसीलिए उनको सामाजिक आरक्षण के साथ उनके जीवन के अंदर समृद्धि आए, उनके जीवन में सामाजिक परिवर्तन हो, उसके लिए संविधान के मूल दर्शन में सरकार काम करती है।
The ICA Global Cooperative Conference 2024 begins in New Delhi today with Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurating it at Bharat Mandapa. With the theme Cooperatives Build Prosperity for All, the conference aligns with India's Sehkar Se Samriddhi or Prosperity Through Cooperation vision. It will focus on the role of cooperatives in achieving UN Sustainable Development Goals. PM Modi will also launch the UN International Year of Cooperatives 2025 themed Cooperatives Build a Better World and unveil a commemorative postal stamp symbolizing India's commitment to the cooperative movement. The event will be attended by Bhutan's Prime Minister Dasho Tshering Tobgay, Fiji's Deputy Prime Minister Manoa Kamikamika, and around 3,000 delegates from over 100 countries. Let's now tell you what is the International Cooperative Alliance. Well, the ICA is the global organization that unites, represents and serves cooperatives around the world. Founded in 1895 in London, it is one of the oldest and largest non-governmental organizations which represents 1 billion cooperative members globally. With approximately 3 million cooperatives across the planet, the ICA serves as the apex body for the cooperative movement. It has over 306 member organizations across 105 countries. 2024 ICA Global Conference will mark a historic milestone as it takes place in India for the first time. The conference theme is Cooperatives Build Prosperity for All, which highlights people-centered, purpose-driven and progress-oriented nature of cooperatives. India has been a central figure in the development and success of the International Cooperative Alliance Asia Pacific. India has been a driving force in shaping cooperative models that have had a profound impact across the Asia-Pacific region. India's cooperative movement is deeply ingrained in its socio-economic fabric. India's cooperative movement reflects values of unity, mutual aid and collective prosperity. The cooperative sector in India spans various domains such as agriculture, banking, housing and rural development. Cooperatives have been instrumental in empowering marginalized communities. The Indian government has played an active role in supporting the cooperative model. In 2021, the Ministry of Cooperation was established to strengthen the cooperative sector further. India views Italy as a key partner, a crucial ally in Europe and a very influential player in the Mediterranean. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said after inaugurating the new Chancery of the Embassy of India in Rome. The minister said it befits the continued expansion of India India-Italy partnership in recent years, and that the new premises will help authorities serve better the Indian community in Italy. Dr. Jaishankar also spoke about the long-standing civilizational ties between India and Italy, highlighting their shared social structures.
The opening of a new embassy, our own property, is always a very important occasion for any relationship. It is also a reflection of the commitment and vision of our leaders today in taking forward our ties. There is a convergence in our worldviews, a synergy in our endeavors in addressing global and regional issues, and definitely a new enthusiasm for developing our bilateral ties. India's growing engagement with Europe and particularly to Italy, which we see both as a very influential European and Mediterranean country, certainly reinforce each other. And we've been very pleased to see that Prime Minister Meloni's government has given more attention to Asia and specifically to India.
Jaishankar also interacted with the Indian community and Friends of India in Rome. The minister will participate in the 10th edition of the Mediterranean Dialogue in Rome, being organized by the Institute for International Political Studies in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy. During the visit, the EAM will also participate in the outreach session of the G7 Foreign Ministers meeting, where India has been invited as a guest country. He is also expected to meet his counterparts from Italy and other participating nations in the G7 related engagements and hold bilateral discussions during the visit. In Maharashtra, the BJP will hold its legislative party meeting today, while the oath-taking ceremony will take place on Tuesday. The newly elected members of BJP will elect their legislature party leader in Mumbai today. The BJP alone got 132 seats, which is nearly a majority in the 288-member assembly, and the tally of the alliance is nearly 5 times that of the opposition alliance Mahavikas Aghadi, which was limited to 50 seats for all its partners combined. The tenure of the current Maharashtra assembly ends on Tuesday. Day 6 of the 55th edition of IFFI has opened with masterclasses on topics like AI in cinema, the age of VFX in cinema, women in cinema, and a lot more. Apart from that, the red carpet will have the premieres of movies like The Rooster, American Warrior, etc. With the conclusion of Film Bazaar and Creative Minds of Tomorrow, the focus now shifts to critical exchanges of thoughts through masterclasses and centenary celebrations of Safarnama, which is a tribute to 100 years of Indian cinema. Let's now take a look at the other stories making news today. A fire erupted at a pharmaceutical factory at Ambarnath in Maharashtra's Thane on Monday. Firefighters are on site working to control the blaze, according to the Thane Municipal Corporation. Handwara police, in collaboration with security forces, uncovered a terrorist hideout in the Mughalpora Kremhora forest area, recovering ammunition and explosives. Tripura Chief Minister Manik Saha launched a blood donation camp at Agiye Chalo Sangha in Agartala, highlighting the growing importance of voluntary blood donation as a key social movement in the state. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live, Australian Prime Minister plays down privacy fears of social media ban for children. Countries remain divided as the 5th UN Plastics Treaty talks begin. And Indian chess grandmaster Gukesh Domaraju all set to take on defending champion China's Ding Liren in the FIDE World Chess Championship Final 2024. Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India. Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. Uruguay's centre-left opposition candidate Yamando Ori secured victory in the presidential election with 99% of votes tallied in a second-round race. Yamando Ori secured a small but comfortable margin of 49.81% of the vote to conservative Alvaro Delgado's 45.9%. Orsi addressed thousands of his Broad Front party supporters in Montevideo after the results. Both Delgado and Uruguay's president, fellow National Party member Luis Lacalle Pau conceded the election, swiftly congratulating Orsi and offering to help with the transition after results signaled a victory for the centre-left. Orsi, Delgado and Lacalle Pau all expressed goodwill for their political opposition and pledged to work together to move the country forward. Romanian Premier Marcel Ciolaso led the first round of Sunday's presidential election with 25% votes, and a runoff seemed likely after 2 weeks. Ciolaso, candidate of the Social Democratic Party, was followed by Elena Lasconi of the Save Romania Union Party with 18%. Some 9.4 million people casted their votes in the polls that closed on Sunday, indicating an over 50% voter turnout. Voters were choosing between 13 candidates to replace outgoing President Klaus Iohannis. The top two move on to a runoff on December 8 if no single candidate gets more than 50% of the vote in the first round. As Russia-Ukraine conflict escalates, Russia's air defense systems destroyed 7 Ukrainian missiles overnight over the Kursk region on Monday. Providing further details of pro-Russian military analyst, the analyst said that Kursk was subjected to a massive attack by foreign-made missiles. Earlier, in a precautionary move, air defenses were in operation in Kyiv late on Sunday as Ukraine shot down 50 of the 73 Russian drones on Saturday. The drones were downed over Ukrainian cities of Kyiv, Cherkasy, Kirovohrad, Chernihiv, Sumy, Poltava and Zhytomyr oblasts. In response to the attack, President Volodymyr Zelensky called on Ukraine's Western partners to concentrate their efforts on helping provide a better air defense system. Zelensky said that Ukraine was working with its allies to find a response to Russia's use of a new medium-range ballistic missile last week, and forensic work was proceeding on the missile fragments to determine all the details and specifications concerning the missile, and for finding together a response to this escalation move. United Nations Secretary-General slammed the renewed threat of anti-personnel landmines by the US on Monday. The comments came days after the United States said it would supply the weapons to the conflict-stricken Ukraine. Washington's announcement of sending anti-personnel landmines to Kyiv was immediately criticized by human rights campaigners. The outgoing US administration is aiming to give Ukraine an upper hand before President-elect Donald Trump enters office. South Korean court on Monday will assess to deliver a sentence against main opposition leader Lee Jae-myung over charges of suborning perjury. Subornation of perjury is the crime of persuading or permitting a person to commit perjury, which is the swearing of a false oath to tell the truth. The verdict comes 10 days after he got a suspended prison term for election violations. Lee, chair of the Democratic Party, is already facing 4 other trials, including for bribery and other charges mostly tied to $1 billion property development scandal. Lee is considered a major contender for the next presidential election in 2027. However, his bid is expected to be clouded by legal battles. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese played down privacy concerns regarding his government's proposed ban on social media for under-16s on Monday. Albanese said that firms would be required to destroy personal data used to verify ages of users. Australia plans to trial an age verification system that may include biometrics or government identification to enforce a social media age cutoff, some of the toughest controls imposed by any country to date. The laws would impact Meta platforms Instagram and Facebook, ByteDance's TikTok, and Elon Musk's X and Snapchat. Platforms face fines of up to $32 million for failing to comply with the legislation.
Because we're doing more than setting a new minimum age of 16 for social media, we are setting a new community standard, making it clear that social media companies have a social responsibility and sending a message to all those mums and dads who are worried about the impact that social media is having on their children's well-being, their mental health, their confidence and their sense of self. That message is simple. We are on your side. We've got your back.
Dengue cases in Bangladesh have increased, creating extra burden on the already stressed healthcare system of the country. At least 11 people have died and 1,079 have been hospitalized in the last 24 hours, raising the number of fatalities from the mosquito-borne disease in Bangladesh to 459 this year. This is the highest daily death due to dengue in 2024. A total of 86,791 dengue cases have been reported in Bangladesh since the beginning of this year. Dengue is a mosquito-borne viral disease that has become a serious public health concern in Bangladesh. On the heels of contentious climate talks in Azerbaijan, negotiators from around the globe descended on Busan in South Korea from today with another formidable goal: to hammer out the world's first treaty designed to tackle plastic pollution's explosive growth. The talks began today, but lingering divisions have cast doubts on whether a final agreement is in sight. Let's listen in to Aarti Rana's report.
The fifth round of UN talks on plastic pollution is ostensibly final UN Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee meeting after the previous round of talks in Ottawa ended without a path forward on capping plastic production. The fifth session of the Intergovernmental Negotiating Committee will try and hammer out an international legally binding instrument on plastic pollution. The debate is expected to focus on whether the deal should seek to slash production. Major producers such as Saudi Arabia and China have urged less contentious strategies such as waste management. Negotiators are working towards the first ever global plastic treaty that addresses not just how plastics are discarded, but also how much plastic is produced and how it is used. The treaty could become the most significant pact to address global climate warming emissions since the 2015 Paris Agreement. Ahead of the meeting, climate activists have been marching, displaying artworks made of plastic waste and calling for the plastic treaty to call legally binding power. Key to any accord will be the United States and China. Earlier this year, Washington raised hopes among environmentalists by signaling support for some limits on production. The election of Donald Trump has raised questions about how ambitious the US delegation will be. Final agreement is due in December, making this one of the fastest UN-led treaty efforts to date. Aarti Rana's report for DT India.
In sports news, Nitish Reddy has joined the party in style as he dismissed Michelle Marsh for 47 on the fourth day of the Perth Test. Earlier, Jasprit Bumrah once again showed his masterclass as he dismissed set batsman Travis Head for 89. Alex Carey has been joined by Michelle Stark at the crease as 7 down Australia need another stable partnership. On the other hand, Indian bowlers are eyeing quick wickets to bundle out the hosts at the earliest. India are 3 wickets away from winning the Perth Test against Australia and taking a commanding 1-0 lead in the 5-match series. Indian chess grandmaster Gukesh Dumaraju is all set to face defending champion China's Ding Liren in the FIDE World Chess Championship Final 2024 in Singapore on Monday. Ding is currently the defending champion from China, and this is the first time that the competition will feature two contestants from Asia in its 136-year history. Gukesh will have the white pieces in game 1 while making the first move of the match. The 14th and final round is marked for December 12th, with the next day demarcated for tie breaks if needed. That's in there in this edition of DD India Live, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. This is Munmun Bhattacharya from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.